I was like, oh my God,
Oh my God, that's tragic. It's like you tearing some shit up. You ripping it like raw. No, you don't do that.
girl, ain't
You
that
don't do that. Is her nails really that long?
you know it's like them banging them fake thingamajigs. Some girls be doing.
Acrylics. Acrylic
Yeah,
nails. And she
girl.
went real long. I'm not, I don't be paying attention to these young girls, and their antics or
Yeah.
whatever, but like wow. Some information you need to just kind of keep to yourself.
And
That's
you,
just too much. TMI. TMI. So, we've been having a really, really intense week. Um, what about that election, dog? Ow, ow, ow. Yes. I can't move too much, but ooh, ooh, yes.
I will admit, again, my greatest pride again as a black woman is to see another black woman in office. Um, when it was the first lady, that was a beautiful thing to me. It was the
Absolutely.
VP, and now the new Kamala Harris VP. That's another beautiful thing to me. So I'm not here to be devil's advocate on that end because that's a beautiful thing to me.
Right.
Um, we're back Democratic.
To Devontae yesterday. He
We're
gave it to
back
you.
Democratic. So
Yeah, check it first.
I mean, like for real, for me, I'm not really that deep into politics,
mm-mm.
but I want a leader that is for the people, not just black people, but all people. Be fair. Don't be looking out for your homeboys. You rich, they rich too. I'm gonna look out for you. I'm gonna make sure you don't pay no taxes. But the
Yeah.
poor people, don't get a pass. Or this thing that he has with these children that are locked up.
Devontae,
Their
send me a shirt, please.
parents are immigrants and they locked up. You got these children behind in cages. That hurts me to my heart to see that a man could be so cruel as to do take these children away from their family. We got to do better in the United States, and I get it. A lot of the things um that we see is more about power and prestige and what can I get away with, you know, because
Yeah.
I got the power, I'm rich, you know,
I'm
people,
rich, rich.
I'm rich. People gonna listen to what I have to say, but be fair, to people. And I'm hoping and praying that Joe Biden sees what the American people want and need um at this time so that we can move on as a nation and get better and be better. And you know what? I think that Joe Biden said that he was going to do something about these student loans. And I'm hoping and praying. Yes, I'm hoping that they just kind of kick that to the curb, like, "Ow, you've been forgiven, yay!" Because I had to help my daughter. I had to help my daughter, you know, with her going, away to New York and, um, pursuing her education because I wasn't gonna allow her not to, do that. This was her dream. This is what her vision was, and I was gonna help her to pursue that. So, that's my baby. That's my firstborn. I would, if my son, once this pandemic is over, if he says, "Mom, I'm ready to go to school," I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to make that possible. But I'm really hoping that we will be forgiven for these student loans. I really, really do. Give me a pass. You know, I need somebody to write me a check and write that off for me. You feel me? That
I
is
agree.
something that I really, really, really need at this point in my life. You know?
I definitely agree. The last thing we would want as parents, as the responsible parent, like you said earlier, what we had to do with this storm, the last thing we want as the responsible parent is to leave that kind of debt on our children
Yeah.
because you already know that it's going to the next of kin. Sorry, y'all. I had to make some movements with my itty bitty device here. So I'm working
And
on
it feel like I'm falling.
it.
Like I
Whoa.
got the wobble, the bobblehead. Like, is that
Yeah.
me? Am I high right now? I don't think so.
About to be, y'all. I know it took me a minute to roll this because I can't do too much at one time. I hear stuff going on out there. I'm trying to pay attention to breathe, trying to roll. I be everywhere. But definitely it's what I will say is this, and I'm gonna tell you what it reminded me of. Someone had to bring my light to this. I've mostly dated foreigners my life.
Wow.
It's it's by God's grace that I have an American child.
Mm.
Okay. When I say foreigners, I date island men, like, and I had to learn from that experience when you think about this children's in cages situation. And not to be all political, because to be honest, Bree, I don't think I know anything about politics. And guess what? My mother is a history teacher, but don't tell nobody. So, but he reminded me of how he came to America from Jamaica when he was
Booyaka, booyaka.
when he was 8 years old, you know.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, how did that happen? And he talks about how immigrant parents can just send their children to
Hmm.
America.
Yeah.
Now, when you couplate, not couplate, I don't know if that's the word, but when you put it together with, at the time he was trying to build the wall, it's almost like if you're trying to jump a fence to escape something, what are you going to do? You're going to throw your baggage over the fence first, right?
Right.
And sometimes the fence still going to close. But guess what? Your baggage is already over there.
Yeah.
And it got me to looking into, well, why these kids was in cages, just to make sure that, I'm not just smoking this shit and, sitting back like, yeah, what if da 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 da. So, after I, again, just thinking, just looking back over just memories, and it just, at the time, the situation, and it all kind of makes sense. Okay, it looks bad that it's not his first priority, is my point.
Mm.
Take care of that. Yes, it does. And before the priority, he wanted to build the wall. Okay. So it's like you got the kids in cages that their parents pretty much may have thrown them over a fence to, if you're not going to let me into free America, take my child
Yeah.
situation. Um, and then it was like, well, we don't want you all over here because y'all a bunch of criminals, you know, your kids are criminals, blah, 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 blah. So it's just it's a sad situation that you're the president and to have kids in cages and would prefer to build this wall instead of getting these kids out of cages as a priority. It's like, again, like I say, every election we don't get everything we want to get done.
Right.
So some things are going to fall through a crack. Some things are not going to see, we look at Obama, and what was the biggest, it wasn't after the fact he became the first black president. The next biggest thing he did was what? He got him some Osama. He got him
Yeah.
some Bin Laden.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's really what Trump started with the bullshit then. You know,
Mhm.
it's like then you look at Trump have so much animosity and hatred and disregard for immigrants. Bitch, you married to a whole German freak.
Yes.
Like, my dude, it's okay. Do you really
Oh,
think
she get a pass. She get a pass.
you ever seen German mafia? I bet Mexican mafia gonna sit down and smoke them some tacos before they. You heard what I said? Yes, smoke a taco before they
Yes.
mess with a German mafia.
Okay, she get a pass because she white and she got blonde hair and
Oh,
she's
you went
skinny.
there. You
She
went
she
there.
get a pass. But like, listen to his wife speak. She can't even speak English that well. Come on, man. How you gonna have her, reading books to children? Come on, man. In the bell. No, baby, no, no, baby. You don't even speak English that good. And I mean, it's like he is such a hypocrite. He
He
is
is.
a hypocrite.
He really is.
um I just can't. I mean, I am so glad that he is out of office. He kicking and
Yeah.
screaming, saying, we need to do the ballots again, and we need to, it wasn't right or whatever your excuse is. No, nigga, you out of here. It's a wrap. Get your shit.
Yeah.
And so many people have been doing so many memes about it. Like I seen this dude pull up at the White House in a truck, talking about, yeah, I'm out here for Trump to get his shit. It's time to go, nigga. It's time to go. Wow. I mean, that was
The
like the
one,
best
the
one
one I
I've
like
seen
is where
so
they got the
far.
U-Haul truck. They got the U-Haul truck parked in the back.
Yeah.
That's the
Ready.
one. That's the
Get
one.
your shit. It's time to
Mm.
go. Get the stepping.
Go ahead, get the back.
Okay,
Y'all gotta
so
forget my roll to grab. Y'all know how them grabbers is. They always be coming apart if you don't roll it right. And I was moving kind of fast, so I gotta keep licking on it and licking and like. At least I still got all my teeth, baby. I can lick and rap on it. And then,
wow. So for you guys that are just tuning in, this is Cyphering that Sundays, where we kind of just talk about pretty much anything. And right now we've been you know, discussing this voter turnout. We didn't even talk about the voter turnout now. We're talking about the fact that BJB won. He got that thing. And I'm hoping that, you know, if you guys have any questions or concerns, hit us up. I'm ready. You ready now? You ready?
I'm ready,
We
bro.
ready.
I'm
We
sort of kind of.
ready.
I'm sort of kind of.
She gonna be
Y'all gotta
ready.
forgive me. I'm not. I'm not exactly dressed. I'm looking like a hobo tonight. I, I I got caught up in Hurricane
What it
Thunder
is,
Thighs out there.
Isabel,
I got caught in.
Lisa,
I don't know,
what is
but
it?
baby, she wasn't nice to me. She wasn't nice to
Wow.
me. So you know. Now
But
another.
you know what?
What's up, boo?
I was just gonna say that I just felt so proud. I felt so proud to be an American because of the voter turnout. Like pretty much all my life, I've heard people say, man, I don't vote. Vote for what? It ain't for me. It ain't for us. But people stood in line for hours to let their vote count. And I felt really, really proud. I felt very proud to be a black woman, to be an American, for that moment. I mean, I just couldn't believe it because normally people always have an excuse for why they don't vote, but most of the people that I talked to were really enthusiastic on getting this bitch out of here,
Yes.
getting him out of office. They was like, yo, I ain't voted in years, but I'm getting my black ass up today and I'm going to do the damn thing, you know. And
Mhm.
I guess it takes um someone to, you know, show you who they really are in order for you to decide to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? People finally made the decision to get their ass up and, you know, be heard.
It's this show that apparently comes on BET, and it's about like people that we want to know about ghosting. Why you ghosting, girl? Check this out. It was two females, right? They was friends from like I'll say that it sounds like they've been friends since high school, and they might be in like their late 20s, early 30s.
Right.
And the one on the left, I'm gonna call. I guess her name is Amy, and we'll call the one on the right. We'll call her Becky. A and B. Amy and Becky. Amy was the one who got ghosted by Becky. Becky couldn't understand. Becky was mad that Amy was supporting Trump on her page because Becky comes from immigrant household. You've been knowing me, my family life, this, that about me. Why would you be in support of him? And I didn't know what to do. And of course, Amy was like, if not personally, if I was Amy, I'd be like, bitch, well, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if it's if something, I mean, if my own personal, again, if you my friend, don't you think you supposed to respect my views?
Right.
If you be honest, to be honest, I
Even
had
if I
told
don't
you
even
what.
if I don't agree with it, I respect you because you my friend.
Like, ain't the love supposed to be deeper than that?
Right. Absolutely.
And then this was the funny thing though. Check this out. This what made the situation so sad, Bree. Check this one out. Amy supported Trump because I'm a, I know you be thinking like, dang, I might be talking good about him, but I just like to play devil's advocate, and I like to hear where people be coming from with their shit. Amy
Right.
supports Trump because her father owns a big oil company that
Mm.
supports the smaller oil companies that Trump allows for what? Employment
Wow.
for minority people. So the poor Amy is damned if she do and damned if she don't.
Right.
And you just go and Becky gonna ghost her. I mean, I'm and Amy, like I can understand your view. Like I would never have broken our friendship for that. But at the same time, you gotta understand why I support him.
Wow.
So, I don't know. Let's see. If we have any comments on here, as you know, this is Cypher Sunday. I had to put my joint down and get through because that was like one of the saddest things ever. It's crazy. It's like, why would you do that? We have, of course, our favorite fan, Shelly Fain. Hi, ladies, checking in.
Shelly.
This whole election has been crazy. Is Biden even really the president? Well, they will officially announce him what January 21st or January 7th, 2021.
Yeah.
So but at this point, he's the elect. He's the top running elect. Biden is. We have, of course, Kamala Harris as the vice president. And we'll see what Trump come up with about her because he's not gonna come for the I almost said it. He's not gonna come for the light skinned man. He gonna come for that brown skinned sister when he get the opportunity.
Wow.
Because that's one thing I will say about him. He's so obvious with that stuff. It's just crazy.
I think that he's a puppet and he is doing everything that he can to get his support from the people that he really would never really dream of dealing with. Like hardworking white people that he would never sit down and have break bread with them. But
Again, like Amy's father.
right, he would never have anything to do with them. But these people
Person, yeah.
are convinced that he is for them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's everyone's personal choice. I hope no one is falling out of friendship, out of family members with people, for these minor details. Again, let's see, it says no, Congress has not accepted it yet. That's what we have Andre saying. Hey Andre, thank you for tuning in. Definitely, yeah, Congress has not accepted it yet, but as of today, he that dude,
Yeah. I
you know,
mean, how you can't back? Can they back? Can they do that? Can they backpedal and be like, he ain't JB ain't got it. Trump is the one that got it. Can they really do that? They'll burn this. They'll burn the. They would burn the White House down if they did that shit. They would. We couldn't. They would burn. People would go crazy. We would see war and riot. They can't do that. They can't do that.
the world, I mean, I really do think that the United States is already on edge with a lot of, black things happening. Those are going to be some of the topics that I want to get into, things that you all may not be aware of. Um, a lot of this stuff, I'm not saying that I'm the smartest person in the world, but what I love to do is learn and share knowledge. And we're going to be bringing you all kinds of different topics. Today, Sundays are more laid back. If you catch us on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock, uh, again, didn't give a shout out to our producers, to our sponsors.
Yeah.
How dare I? We have our sponsors, of course, which is, I'm about this. I got my thoughts all mixed up. I be smoking that shit. But we, of course, is be hosted, is behosted.com, BU Entertainment, BU Hosting, and then it's urbancountryfilms.com. And of
Yeah.
course, the name of our show here under those people, of course, is forenergy.com with my name is Na, and of course you have Bree. And we just like to talk about, our views and our topics and how we see things and how not just our personal views on politics, but if you look at some of our other videos, we've talked about other things that are more interpersonal, and yet and still we see the newer generation like different. You
Yes.
know, you all have been, in quarantine with your family members and with your who's and your what's and your doings and your that's, and you're going to be coming back out in this world, and you need to know, hey, what's really out there. Some of the things, you need to work on. Shelly Fain, of course, we have another comment. She says, yeah, if the election is proven to be illegitimate, they
No.
that's how you play Uno. You got to put that reverse on it. Then you do a draw two. Then you draw four. Then you Uno. Then you out.
And then you pick four. Oh hell no. Hell no. Hell
Yes,
no.
4 more years on that ass.
No. Now I've been telling like all of my friend I've been telling I first told my children, they're adults now, and I'm like, look, if Trump is in office another 4 more years, your mom is moving to the southern part of Canada, if there is such a place. There's got to be a southern part of Canada. I'm going for the warmest area of Canada because I don't really like cold and snow. But like, I'm going for the free healthcare. I want to be treated equally. I can't take this shit no more. Everybody's like, oh my God. I mean, but to be honest, I've been looking to move to another country um in my retirement years. I might not look like it, but I'm really close to that. Yeah. I just want to try a different atmosphere, but that would be a jump off point for me if old dude is like, haha, I'm not going nowhere. I'm right here. Ah, I fooled ya. You know, I definitely, that would have been a real jump off point for me.
Yeah,
So
I
we'll see.
visited. I visited other countries. I will say again, speaking for the criminals. Another reason why I've been through certain phases, not to get back on the subject, but again, like you were saying, when you have dealt with so much and you've done your part, you it's like you willing to do anything for change.
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm saying is, I've been through the stages of what's the point of voting, and then I'm not gonna lie, it was because of President Obama, which was my first time voting, both of those terms. And what hurt my heart
Mm.
is when I realized the privilege of voting is when I lost my rights during during Trump's election. I did not have my rights to vote because I at that time was being processed judicially, criminal,
Ah,
you know. So anyway, the point is we definitely have come far because since then I have had my rights restored.
yay.
And when I got my rights restored, it was a beautiful thing. I also have met a couple of criminals who have come out. I know we have a few comments. I'm gonna get to them in a moment, but I just want to finish my thought. I've met even a couple of criminals who had came out under the Obama administration, and then you look at so many other flips and turns. It's like everything is just at a balance because you have these men who've come out of these long prison terms for minor crimes. An ounce of weed, you done got 35 motherfucking years on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Then you have the situations of the Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. So it's like, are you safer in prison or out? Like,
Yeah.
where does the where does the balance lie in this for the black man? And I hate to get so deep, but that again goes back to what brought my pride back to voting. Because when you're paying attention to the news and when you're meeting and greeting people, because again, like I say, my profession is customer service. You meet people who've been in the army, you meet people from all over the world, from all walks of life. And one of the biggest things they teach you about customer service is having empathy. And the only way you can have empathy is if you shut the fuck up and listen. You know what I'm saying? These people have done things and been through things and been in situations you ain't never even heard of, thought of, or probably only even never even seen on TV.
Right.
Learn something, learn something. And it's like when you be involved with that and then you go into the voting booth with your options, you're like, okay, this is what matters to me. This is where it all matters in this moment. This is
Right.
this is it don't matter if you don't get who you're looking for or who you voted for, but it's like that's when it all is worth it. That interaction, the reading, the rights, and like you said, just loving it. But let me go back to our comments. We have one of it was saying about Al Gore. Shelly Fain, she was like, do you remember President Al Gore? Actually, I do not, but let me quickly look him up. Let's see, 19, because I was underage at that time, so that would explain why I personally do not know about Al Gore. Albert Arnold Gore Jr. is an American politician and environmentalist who served as the 45th Vice President of the United States from 1993 to 2001. Gore was Bill Clinton's running mate in their successful campaign in 1992, and the pair was reelected in 1996. Let's see. I would definitely have to do more research on him to see what was the deal with his election. But I
Wait a
just
minute. Al Gore was a vice president. He wasn't a president.
okay. But it looks like that comment came in when we was talking about the elections and like how they would go. He okay. So do you remember Al Gore won, but he was never the president? Oh, why was that though? That's what she's saying. Okay, how did he win to be president but was never president?
It probably had to do, and again, I'm not a real politically educated, but more than likely it had to do with the electoral, what do they call it? Electoral votes,
Mm,
maybe, possibly. It's something we definitely need to um
look at
research.
because I don't like to talk about it. Like I said, I'm just now looking the man up. I do remember Bill Clinton, and the only reason I remember him is Miss Monica Lewinsky in the blue dress. So that was a big of course I think I was coming into my teenage years, so I was all like a blue dress.
Wow.
Oh, my phone is dying. I don't know what's going on.
Wait a minute. Before you if you guys are just tuning in, if you have any questions or comments, we're talking about the most recent election with JB winning the election so far. We still got to do that inauguration in order for it to be official. So if you guys have any comments or concerns, any questions, hit us up. Let us know what you think. Um, wow. Just
So
let's open up a dialect about it.
Nye died on you. Nye's phone died. So
Oh,
you're on the screen by
oh,
yourself. You do have a comment in, and what it said was Al Gore won the election from the 2000 elections, um, but Florida got caught cheating.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, so Florida got caught cheating, so um, what's it called, ended up being the president at the time. That's how what's his name being ended up getting the presidency. Um, not Jeb Bush, but George Bush, our
Okay.
last Bush. But it was so crazy because at that time, his brother was the governor of Florida.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
right.
I
So
do I mean, like, as far as that those shenanigans with Al Gore.
mhm,
I I mean, I vaguely remember what happened, but let me tell you what made a big deal with me in my mind. I would have to say what made a big deal for me is there was a problem with the voting. And
yes,
Florida, I remember Florida being um, having a problem with them taking too long with the votes. And then I remember Jeb Bush coming to Florida, and I guess he was trying to
George or Jeb, because Jeb was the governor of Florida at the time.
Jeb Bush.
Okay,
Jeb Bush came to Florida, and um he went to come talk to, her name was Oliphant,
mm-hmm,
and she was the supervisory of elections at the
right,
time.
right,
He went to go see her, and he fired this woman because he felt like she was over them. She is the reason why it took so long for his brother to win the election, which I felt like it was crazy. It was absolutely positively crazy, for him to do something like this to this woman. I think her name was Marie Oliphant. And
yeah,
I
I
never
remember that name.
I got to look it up to make sure, but I thought it was crazy
Yeah, I
that
remember.
this happened to this woman. But again, I'm not really into that deep into politics, but you know,
Yeah, so I
it's
mean, the
just
bottom
so
line
many
is
things that are going on in the back office that we
that we don't see
as
ever know.
American citizens have no idea. and we never really hear about it until maybe if you watch it on some public access channel, maybe another 10, 20 years
But
from now.
but the sad part about
Mhm.
that though, Bree, is I
Yeah,
think
that's true. It's always some kind of scandal, but it goes back to a lot of old folklore, black sayings. How they saying, having to rob Peter to pay Paul,
Yep.
or um, again, the whole you're not gonna get all of your own views looked at, dealt with. You are one in what, 3 trillion people in America or something like that.
Hmm.
You know, I need to stop saying that. I do it because you do it. But
I do it.
yes, you do. You say you know a lot. But the point is, it's very beneficial to do your part. And you cannot sit there and think that your little bit of vote doesn't count. You can't think, even like the Michael Jackson, not to get off topic, but again, a big profile death. Same difference. Michael Jackson himself was just a goddamn junkie, okay? He was a painkiller junkie, all right? If I'm on crack, if I'm on weed, if I'm on whatever, if whatever I'm on, if I can afford it, no matter what I got to do to get it, there's gonna be some kind. You see what I'm saying? A balance to it.
Right.
But what happened? Conrad got accused of it. Why he had to go down? No one. I really felt like in that situation, no one should have went down for that. The man
Okay.
had.
So, okay, now, wait a minute. I mean, we changed the topic, but that's cool.
I
This
know
is
because we can't cut
trying to
off,
be,
and I don't know what you was talking about. But
it's
what I'm
cool.
saying is, what I'm with the point. I know you finna get on me about doing what I do, but the point is, it's like everything has a certain balance when you're in any high profile of life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The man was accused of sexually molesting people, but again, he had like all this music that was so relational. It did not stop his balance. You see what I'm saying? Political people, when they get in office, just like Trump, he's impeached supposedly, but the motherfucker still out. What the fuck is his balance? But he got it. He
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
You gotta give the man. You gotta. My point is, you gotta give these little facets they props. I wish I could, but I gotta hold my phone because my other one, like I said, it died. It dead. It's gone. But you got to give these people they props. It is what it is. Like stolen elections. We have Shelley Fain saying stolen elections are not unheard of. It has happened before. I believe this will end in some type of conspiracy. And of course, as it always does. It always will end in some type of conspiracy. Like they say, when it's a real big election, there's always some big shit hit. You have swine flu when Obama was out. Now he going out. What was the thing when Trump came in office? I don't remember what that disease was. Ebola, the mosquito shit that was
Zika.
Zika.
Zika. Okay, Zika. Now we got motherfucking COVID.
Yeah.
Like the expectation is for you to not think about it so that they can go ahead and continue with their robbing Peter and paying Paul bullshit.
Oh, give me.
And
Okay. You know what? I, I I don't know about anybody else, but
Thank you,
I
baby.
think that, me and you have been knowing each other for at least about 5, 6 years. And I guess, during that time, you kind of know who I am as a person and as an individual. And,
Mhm.
I want you to kind of stay with me for a minute, okay? Damn, damn, damn. Um, okay, so like a lot of people are really upset about COVID-19 happening. And I totally get the reason why people are upset. It upset our lives. It upset the balance of things. It upset how we interact and live our lives right now. Everything is different. But this is not any different from things that happened maybe 20, 30 years ago, but we were maybe too young to experience it, or and so it didn't really directly affect us. But now we have this, this virus that is facing we're facing that is nationwide. Um, it is worldwide. Okay. But let me tell you something. I always try to see things a little bit differently. You still with me, girl?
Mhm.
Okay. I try to see things a little bit differently. Um, this has changed us so dramatically. People that had no money, nowhere to live, are embarking on becoming millionaires and trillionaires.
Business owners. Yeah.
Think about it. How many of us was really into buying hand sanitizer? Not me. Not me at all.
Please get your
But
bottle
the
before it's too
owners,
late.
the people that make these hand sanitizer lotion, they is happy. They on the golf course right now, living La Vida Loca. The people that I got friends that made decided to start making masks. You know what I'm saying? You can go on Facebook right now and buy you some masks. $10, $15 a mask. And they doing real good. Businesses that you never thought would go out of business have gone out of business because
Yep.
they cannot compete with this pandemic. You know, people that never thought that their idea would ever come where they could become rich and famous. These people are living their best lives. Sometimes, are you okay?
Girl, the boogeyman outside. Shit, knocking on
I
my
mean,
damn window.
it's like sometimes God makes changes in our lives, and we have to look for the good in everything. You know what I'm saying? We got to
Hi,
look for it.
Ada. Hi, Ada. I'm sorry. Hey, Ada. No, I definitely agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm gonna hip you to some game. You have to look at it has been here since the beginning of time. You have other diseases. Why do you think the kids now get vaccines? Okay. The vaccines for schools are other epidemics, pandemics that have happened throughout history. Even if you look at things such as like the Holocaust, slave trading, all of these tragic events and all of these, it always has to be something very tragic for time to change. Like, you see what I'm saying? That's I guess that's my point when I'm saying you have to recognize even your own interpersonal balance.
Yeah.
When you recognize that you've survived a global change in balance, it's gonna
Oh, yeah.
shift to the left, it's gonna shift to the right. But no matter where it shifts at, you know, you better make sure you kind of keep it together because you got people out here killing themselves,
Yeah.
slowly dying. We joke about a lot of stuff, but I don't know. Maybe it's the weather that got me feeling a little serious tonight. But it's real. And after this pandemic, especially after so many people who have lost, I've been affected by it. I not me personally. I haven't. Thank God, I have no reason to be under COVID situation. But I've had a friend, like I said, a couple shows ago. If you look back on our videos, that passed away. That's kind of started my funk. I'm slowly getting. I'm getting out of it. This is my second week getting out of my whole funk. So give me some time. And but then I've had other friends who've actually had COVID and they, have recovered from it. So, it's all been you have family that you can't see,
Yeah.
because of COVID.
Yeah.
It's all affecting us. So interpersonally within your home, what was the balance all about? What was the focus about? And these are issues you really do have to look at and discuss with your children, because this new generation of kids, like all they're into, and I'm looking at my kid, you're looking at your kid. When
Yeah.
I was working in the school system, that was approximately 10 years ago. So again, I've had about 20 years of just kind of following a little timeline of what kids are doing. Again, these children don't even know how to write anymore. They don't even know cursive.
Yeah.
The math is all messed up. You're gonna see in other episodes how we talk about that shifting and how that's working for you, because what is this whole, I hate to sound like a conspiracy, but just like Shelly said, just like we even said earlier,
Mm.
30 years from now, you're gonna find out what this was all about.
Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
you people looking at the information, you do something like what we're doing, such as watching Shelly Fane's show about what goes on in her neighborhood. Even our BU hosting and urban country films, looking at what their topics are, looking at what our topics are, and putting your input together so that we can come together and put a balance together. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We all should have done a reset. We all should be very mindful. We've had this whole, again, we just talked about how through the times, every time it's an election or something, you survive it for a reason.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
I mean, like for me, um, and I know we're gonna be wrapping up soon, but for me, when I see things on the news and then, it's like sensationalized, I've always had this thought like, what's the backstory on this? You know, what's really going on with this? Is this something that they staged in order to kind of um mask what is really happening? And like we said before, um it's going to be something that we sitting around, me because I'm much older than you, I'm going to be at the old folks home, talking to the nurse. See that right there? See, I told you, I was there when that happened, and we didn't know what was going on at the time. See there? That's what I'm talking about. And then they're going to be like, shut up, old lady. But like, everything comes out in the wash. That's what old people say. You know what I'm saying? It
mhm.
all comes out eventually, but they want to keep us in the dark, because they think that maybe we're not intelligent enough, or they don't want us to just run rampant in the streets. We're gonna go crazy. I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, like, I try not to have that conspiracy theory um about myself, but I always am looking what's the backstory on what's going on. You know.
It, in my honest opinion, it all boils down to overpopulation.
Mm,
The United States of America was not made or not intended from the beginning of time to be what it is. Unfortunately, what happened is, but we're gonna talk about that at another time because you know how I get. I go down. So I want to thank y'all. Y'all thought I wasn't paying attention because I be smoking that shit.
you smoking that shit.
The gas. I want to keep y'all intrigued. I want to keep you on your toes. I want to hear where you coming from. I want y'all to give me some topics. I want you to prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me. Let me know what's going on. Again, thank you all for watching tonight. We greatly appreciate you all tuning in. This, of course, is 4energy.com, brought
Yeah.
to you by Urban Country Films and buhosting.com. And Bree, thank you again for conversating with me on the Cypher Sunday, honey. I will see you Wednesday at what time?
8 o'clock, girl.
On
Be there
period.
or be square.
Good night.
Good night, guys.